Hey, this is Davin with Hagerty and our Redline rebuild updates. Today, I'm working on our hubs for our 37 Ford race car. So I guess in dad joke world, it's hub day, not hump day. But hey, we have fresh bearings. We got a whole stack of them over here. This looks pretty daunting, I have to say. Thankfully, these hubs are identical. So all four hubs are these aftermarket from the day Franklin aluminum hubs. And then we have our aluminum drums with a steel liner, and they've been Cerakoted, so they're nice and clean from that aspect and not going to corrode. These hubs were initially set up or running two different sizes relative to the lugs, and that just is kind of a pain in the butt. So I'm going to commonize them to a little bit longer stud so I have some adjustability relative to my stance. But I'm also going to a coarse thread. So to do that, I need to drill out these to get them to the size needed for these studs. So that's where I'm going to start. Then I'm going to be able to go over to the press and put in my bearings and seals, and away she rips from that. So we got to get started over here in the machine shop. So like I was saying, I need to increase the hole here so I can put my studs in. Now in doing that, I could use a hand drill and just come in and hold it the best I can, or I could use a drill press. In our case, I'm going to use our mill, and one of the reasons for that is quite simply it has a nice big table for us. I can control my speed better than I can on the drill press that I happen to have, so I can bring that speed a little slower. Because ultimately, I'm not going to clamp it to the surface. Yes, I said I'm not going to clamp it to the surface. It'll be okay. I'm going to come in here, go real slow. It's aluminum with a good sharp bit, and I'm going to increment up. So I'm only going to take a little bit at a time and increment up. The reason I'm going to do this as an assembly is as I go back and I need to machine this brake surface, it needs to be concentric to the hub, and they also have to have the hub to put it on the brake lathe. So to come in here, machine this off, it has to be on the hub. There's one. One down. What do we got? 19 more to go. Okay, so my process is working well with one little minor glitch. So using the 5/8, it's so close already to that hole that it's grabbing it, it's going down, no problem, just take my time. But when I go up to the 43/64 bit, it's just big enough, and the edge has been kind of boogered already because it's been clamped down a few different times with wheels on them, that it wants to catch that rough edge. Pretty simple. I just added a clamp down at this end, locate it the same way, let the drill bit find the center, and just clamp it down, it holds it in place. Because ultimately, I'm not going to clamp it to the surface. I'm not going to clamp it to the surface. I'm not going to clamp it to the surface. No problem. Just takes a little longer. One down, but we should probably test and make sure we weren't wrong. Look at that, just like a glove. Well, that's one down, 3 more to go. So what that means is I get to work really fast with the radio on. See it. Might not have been pretty, but we got the job done. All 4 of our hubs are assembled, meaning the center hub and the drum is connected together now with our brand new wheel studs, which are a 5/8 thread and coarse, so the sand won't bind them up. Now, like I said, the next thing is we need to have our braking surface machined, basically trued up the best we can with what we have to work with. So from there, we're gonna take these hubs over to the other garage, and I'm gonna coerce Randy into giving me a hand with that. Randy?
Yes, sir. Ooh, big boy stuff.
Oh, yeah. Aftermarkets. Something wacky going on with the... Well, hi.
That's for your Volkswagen?
Yep. Exactly the same.
Then you'll be able to determine which one works best, and then put all those on. Well, me, on a date. And what I'm doing is I'm marking it with the lathe bit. You can see that mark right there. So what I want to do is I want to rechuck the drum again, just verify that my mark comes in the same spot. Turn 180, and bring it back up. And then if it changes, then I gotta redo something with the drum. I gotta figure out another way to chip You can see the lines where they come right together. See the same spot right there. So I'm a happy camper.
Well, we have one drum done. Now, I'm not sure what I was thinking, but I was thinking I wouldn't need my bearings in already, or at least the races in already. This hub was actually in good shape, so it wasn't all gnarled up on the outer edge. Randy made do, and everything's machined on center anyway, so it's not a big deal from that standpoint. But going forward, these other ones are kind of chewed up, so we're going to put the race at least in, and they're going to be slightly bigger than maybe we want them, but at the same token, we'll be able to work with it based on it's a race car. So moving forward, this is good. This press make me look short.
I'll work on the other two, and I'll see if I can get this baby turned.
I guess I gotta get back to work.
Sorry. Yeah, I gotta go for a boat ride now.
Hey, how did I get the raw end of the deal? I gotta go to work, you get to go for a boat ride?
Yeah, I gotta go for a boat ride.
Man, all right, well, I guess we'll go back to work. Thank you, sir. Well, we're back here in our own shop after Randy gave us a hand over at the Hagerty Learning Garage, and the next thing would be to go through and grease the bearings and then install the bearings into the appropriate race. And then in this case, on the inner, there's also the seal that goes against there as well. So here's our rockauto.com tip. Installing these seals, it will go in the hub either way, but it only goes in one correct way that actually holds the grease where you're supposed to keep it. So when you look at the seal, you'll see it is angled this way, and most of them also have like a little spring inside of there that holds tension. You want that to be on the grease side, so angled towards what you're trying to keep it in position. Now, in our case, I am not going to do the outers because I'm really not ready to put them on the hub yet. So there's no point in having them greased and, quite frankly, falling out into the sand, because that invariably will be what happens. So for right now, I'm going to put the inners in, have the seal in there. That does not go anywhere. I'll probably put a little tape or something over the top of it just from a dirt standpoint. And then these are going to sit on the shelf until I'm ready to install them onto the car. All right, there we have it. Hey, I tell you what, this last one with all these chisel marks on the outside edge, that one was a little iffy, but one time patience finally paid off for myself. So hey, that's the basic process as far as cutting drums and putting in the bearings and putting the seals in. Of course, rinse and repeat on the outer side. Not a big chore, just take some time and make sure you get everything greased well. So at this point, today's a success. At the end of the day, you know the deal. Get out in the shop, get your work done. But you know what? This is for my son. Oh. Oh. Oh, not enough. Oh. Oh. Yeah! There we go.